Okay, so let's set up networking and other settings for our SQL Server. So we'll power on this virtual machine. We'll ignore the CD-ROM messages and other devices that didn't connect. So this is the second of the machines that we have cloned. And once again, when we start it up, we go through the same process that we had done when we did our ADDC. And this can take some time. Obviously, we'll speed the video up. And we'll do next here. We are going to skip our product key and turn off the automatically activate. Accept the license terms. And we'll do our Control-Alt insert from a Windows machine, or you can do the send Control-Alt delete. Again, the password needs to be reset. And we'll click the arrow button. VMware Tools. Control-Alt insert again to log in. Again, we'll use administrator. We'll use our newly created password. Click the arrow button. And it'll take a moment for the server manager to show up here. I'm going to go to Configure Networking. Right click. Go to Properties. We'll turn off IPv6. We'll go to IPv4. We'll do Properties. And we're going to statically assign this one as well. Now we're going to do 10.10.10.11. And we'll do the same subnet mask. Again, it's the default class C. Yeah, we'll put the same default gateway in. Now, on the DNS server address for all the machines beside the ADDC for our topology, we're going to use the ADDC as the primary DNS server, and then for the alternate, we will use the default gateway address. So we'll do OK on that. We'll do close on that. Okay. Close that. Now we're going to come back in and change the domain just a little bit later after we promote our domain controller. But for right now, let's call this one SQLSVR. And we'll leave it in the work group for right now. And we'll go ahead and let that restart. Okay, we'll do Control-Alt-Insert since we're on a Windows machine. We'll do our administrator password. Now we have this one pretty much ready to go. We will come back in and turn the firewall off a little bit later when we are attempting to connect to the domain controller. But for right now, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to suspend this operating system. And you might notice that I also suspended our ADDC, and suspending allows it to not use up RAM memory, and yet it's really quick and easy to get it back up to where you need it to be. So if we go back in and we resume this virtual machine, just as an example here, if I actually click this right, then it will actually start it back up. And it's much quicker. Now, in terms of when you suspend versus when you shut down, if you need to make any changes to the so-called hardware of the virtual machine, those items that would be hardware in a normal physical machine, then at that point you would actually need to shut it down. So you'll get messages sometimes that you actually need to shut the machines down. And that's it for now for this machine. So I'm going to stop the video here. And we'll do the same thing for the app server and our remote server.